I like to start off all of these segments showing that this is, in fact, a safe and empty weapon, and there's no live ammunition on the table where we're working. Okay, take two, they're small. No, folks, this is like take 27 on this. There's so much racket going on around here. I came outside to try to make this in a little bit quieter environment. Every time I turn around, there's another truck hauling refrigerators rolling down the road with open headers. So bear with the background noise, please. Okay, folks, as always, starting out with a safe and empty weapon, no ammunition out here with us today. We're going to keep it that way for safety's sake. I'm making this video because of some recent concerns that have been posted on the internet, but more importantly, people have asked me about directly concerning my channel about the Taurus GX4. I left that in the video to prove a point. I'm having to try to film this around noise like that, so please bear with me. So the issue involved an individual who, by his own admission, and I thank him for putting that into his video, is not an expert in the firearms field. At this point, I would like to include that I have never claimed to be an expert on anything. I mentioned this a few weeks ago in a viewer feedback video that I posted that got exactly 13 views. It was one of those that was suppressed by the algorithm and didn't make it onto most of your recommendations. It was also a very long video. So I'm not going to include anything that I don't think is germane to the topic. I took that from Paul. The guy takes the Taurus GX4 to the range. By his own admission, he crammed his banana finger 2/3 of the way through the trigger guard, feels as though he was putting sideways pressure on the trigger, pulled the trigger, nothing happened, went to put it back into his appendix inside the waistband holster, and it went off, nearly stopping him from being able to procreate. I'm going to show you a video of me trying to initiate a failure with the trigger. Alright folks, starting with a safe and empty weapon. The issue we're trying to replicate here is some individuals have posted videos saying that the Taurus GX4, when the trigger is pulled, is not releasing the sear, and after they release the trigger upon some type of slide manipulation, the firing pin is firing, yielding a potentially dangerous situation. Understand, I'm putting as much force sideways on this trigger as I think I can. If I did it any harder, it would probably break the pistol. One of the other things they said they were doing was gripping the frame so hard as to kind of push it in on the side here, which I'm doing. Still nothing, folks. I'm not having any type of trigger issue with this pistol whatsoever. I've done this several hundred times off camera. I'm not going to make y'all sit and watch it over and over again, but understand that in no way, shape, or form was I able to replicate any type of trigger problem with the Taurus GX4. And I will mention it here because I know it's going to come up. I understand I'm putting way too much finger on the trigger here, but the individual that's claiming problems with his Taurus GX4 was saying that he has extremely large hands and had to put way too much of his finger into the trigger guard. Again, fired in a normal fashion, no issues. This is a fairly early production GX4. I had purchased it about a week after the press release. Still nothing. Folks, I'm not kidding. I pulled the trigger on this pistol probably at least 500 times off camera, trying to get it to do what people are saying that it was doing. I wasn't able to get that to happen. So, what is our takeaway from this? How do I feel about it? How do you feel about it? Well, this is how I feel about it. Take it for what it's worth. This is my opinion only. It is extremely easy to blame equipment or something other than ourselves for embarrassing mishaps. I know that the gentleman indicated that he was using what I feel and consider to be an improper trigger pull technique by just cramming way too much of his finger through the trigger guard. Folks, I put so much sideways and twisting trigger pressure on this pistol trying to replicate a failure that I was afraid I was going to break it. Not every firearm is the best fit for every person. I feel personally as though perhaps the gentleman's hands were too large to properly manipulate this pistol. Combined with lack of proper training, he was doing it in a manner that was probably less than ideal. And I would think that there was a very good possibility that it was just a negligent trigger pull that initiated his incident, and in an attempt to justify it or to save face, perhaps he's trying to blame it on his equipment. I did watch his video where he was trying to show the issue he was having with the pistol, and to be right honest with you, his big paws were in the way and you could not see the trigger pulls. And I do have some doubts as to if actually he was having the issues that he claimed that he was having. Furthermore, the first thing he should have done in the situation was send the pistol back to Taurus. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm going to go so far as to say maybe it did happen. But I am going to defend the position of the pistol, the Taurus GX4. I've heard a lot of naysayers on here preaching that Taurus does not make a quality handgun. What I am saying is that my personal experience with the Taurus GX4 is that I have never, not even one time, been able to replicate any kind of potential hazard situation with it. Furthermore, I have fired hundreds and hundreds, probably close to 1,000 rounds through this pistol with zero issues whatsoever. I will post a link down here to the videos that I posted for making the Taurus GX4 a better pistol by adding some quality accessories like this Ameriglow glow-in-the-dark front sight with the orange circle around it, and a quality inside the waistband holster made by CYA Supply Company. I want you to draw your own conclusions from this, but I don't want you to be afraid of something based on what a couple of people have said on the internet. Keep in mind that the SIG P365, which is undoubtedly one of the finest Micro 9 pistols ever produced, had its share of problems early on. All this brings up another point that I'd really like to stress with you folks. For starters, remember firearm safety. Treat every firearm as if it was loaded. Keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to pull the trigger. Keep it pointed in a safe direction. Know your target and what's beyond it. More importantly, know what to do if you do encounter some kind of issue, like a hang fire, or pulling the trigger and the striker not going boom. I'm not telling you what to do, but if it were me in that situation, if I pulled the trigger on the GX4 and nothing happened, I would remove my finger from that trigger. I would keep the pistol pointed in a safe direction. I would remove the source of ammunition from the pistol, release the magazine. I would take a full firm grip on the back end of it and I'd jerk it back violently to clear the round that was in there. And then most importantly, if I truly believed it was a malfunction with the pistol that caused a potentially dangerous situation, the first thing I would do is stop using the pistol until I could have it returned to the manufacturer to be properly assessed. So I hope you were able to take something away from this. Remember, these are my opinions and my opinions only. Do what you want. Thank you. Take care. God bless. Are you kidding me? Where's the carnival truck? What about the guy hauling refrigerators? Can't he come back down again?